Okay, welcome. This is Rich Halverson. This is ITS388AL, and today I'm going to show you how to do assignment 2. And so let's take a look at the assignment. So let me share my screen here. Okay, and I've got it. I've got the overview open here, and we are in week 3, and so this is where we are. Let's look at the assignment. The assignment here. Let's go over it just for a moment. We're going to take the add to program, which you saw in, which you should have seen earlier. It's in section 3.2, and we're going to modify that program so it computes this. It computes this expression and stores the result back in A. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to assign integer values. We're going to use EAX for A, EBX for B, ECX for C, and EDX for D. And we're going to load those up with values, and then we're going to compute this expression and leave the result in A. And what I'd like you to do is, in your example, to show me that it works, I'd like you to use numbers so the final answer will be positive, and that way it should be easier for you to confirm that the program is calculating the expression correctly. And what I'd like you to hand in is I'd like you to hand in a copy of the assembly language program when you're done. And that's this section here, this middle section. Just copy that out and paste it down here. And I'd like you to attach a screenshot that looks just like this. Keep in mind that this program is different. This program shown in the screenshot is different than what I ask you to calculate here. What I ask you to calculate here is to add up two numbers, add these two numbers, add these two numbers, and then subtract this one from this sum. Whereas in this program here, I'm subtracting. I first subtract two numbers from each other, and then I add the results together. Okay, so this is different. So your program should look different than this. By the way, I've included a rubric here for how I'm going to grade this. 50% on program specifications. That means that things got to work. Computes the expression correctly. And 40% where on if you handed it in correctly. I want to see the screenshot. I want to see the code, and I want to see the zipped project. And then for documentation and reliability, just 10%. I'd like to see your name in the code. I'd like you to make sure there's no unexecutable code, which you'll learn more about what that means later. But you shouldn't have any this time. Consistent naming convention, and it's especially important to have every line commented. And so, so you should start out with this project here, which is actually this link also. And then you got to make sure you have the library connected in there correctly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download these two zip files and open them up on my desktop and show you how to link them up so they're linked up correctly. And then I'm going to do a slightly different assignment. I'm not going to do this one, and I'm not going to do this one here. I'll come up with some third example program, and I'll do that in front of you, and then you can you should be able to from this example you should be able to do your assignment just fine. So first of all, let's download this starting project, and that's going to look like this. And let me smaller. And I'm going to drag this onto the desktop. And let's download this other thing here. This library. Download that. In the meantime, I can unextract this. Okay. And so this is what we're going to start with. And then we should have this down here by now. Let's copy this over. And let's extract this. And let's hit this right here. And let me extract it. In the meantime, let's start this up. And I just double click on the project.sln file. This is the Irvine library already being extracted. Here is the here is the project that I just opened up. And it looks like this. This Visual Studio configuration is a little bit different than you might be used to if you're using C# programs. So we've got the Solution Explorer over here. You can set that up when you go through and look at his videos here. If you click on lessons and click on week 3, if you look at getting started with Microsoft Assembler here, and a couple of videos here. When you look at this thing here, we see this goes through the whole setup, how to set up with the C++ configurations. You go to Tools, Import, Export Settings, and so on. I've done this already. You can do this. If we double click on the Add to ASM program, double click on that, we see this is the program here. And you notice there's a breakpoint that's already set. You can just click that to unset it or click it to set it. And let's try to compile this. So let's build a solution. And we see that we got an error here. We got a fatal error. And the reason is because it cannot find this Irvine32.lib. Well, that's what we downloaded here. Back over here. That's this. So let me, I extracted that. Where did I extract that to? To here. And so it is, there's another here. And so this is the library we're talking about. This is where it is, Irvine32LB, and it's in this path. So let's just click on this, and I'm going to copy the path, copy, and let's go back to project, and let me show you, go to project, project properties, configuration properties, VC++ directories, library directories, and I'm going to attach it right here. I'm going to put a semicolon, and then I'm going to paste. And there's my path to my Irvine directory. And I'm going to apply this and say OK. And now when I build, I should build fine, succeeded. All right, and when we run this, this program loads the value 5 into EAX, and then it adds the value 6 to EAX, and the result of EAX should be 5 plus 6, which is 11, which hexadecimal is B. And so if we run this, we can do debug, start debugging. We see that it stops at the breakpoint. It stops at the breakpoint. So we see that that's what that yellow arrow is there. And we see down here, we've got a registers window. Now, if you don't have the registers window, I'm going to close it like I don't have it. And to get it back, I go to, okay, the program has to be running. Click on debug, Windows, all the way down to registers. And now it's back. So before we do anything, this instruction has not been executed yet. So EAX contains garbage. But if we execute this, we can execute this by clicking, going debug step over F10. Now we see that it has executed, and EAX now, as you see, is equal to 5. We can just hit the F10 key to execute the next one, and we should see 6 being added to EAX. So I'm going to press F10, and we see that now this has been executed, and now we see that EAX equals B. And if I click F10 one more time, it's over. All right. So that's how we, so now that we see that this little simple program works, I'm going to modify, this is how it ends. You can just hit any key and that should go away. So I'm going to modify this now, and I think I'm going to modify it so it does A equals B No, I'm going to do A equals B minus C plus D. Okay, that's a simple thing to do. So and I want to do it so I make sure that the final result is positive. So I'm going to start out by moving. Let's say it doesn't matter what. Okay, so I'm going to start by moving into EBX. EBX equals 25. B equals 25, which equals 19H, I believe, 19 hex. And then I'm going to set move ECX. CX gets 5. C equals 5. And then I'm going to move into EDX. I'm going to put 15 in there. Now I'm going to put 13. 13. So D equals 13, which equals 0 DH. Yes. 14 is E, 15 is F. Okay. And now I got to start doing some calculations. So let's do the C plus D. I'm going to do the C plus D, and I'm going to leave it in C. So I'm going to add ECX comma EDX. So this is going to say C equals C plus D, which equals 5 plus 13, which equals 18, which equals 1, 2 hex. Okay, and then I'm going to say B. I'm going to subtract SUB. Oops, what did I just do? SUB EBX comma ECX. So that equals, it says B equals B minus C, which equals 25 minus 18, which equals 7. And then I need to move the 7, MOV, EAX, comma, EBX. And I can get rid of this last thing. And so this equals A equals B equals 7. So this patch of code executes this expression, and we've loaded up B, C, and D with some numbers, and this does the calculation and stores the result over into A. So let's run this. Let's first of all see if it builds. And it succeeded in building. And so let's execute it. So I'm going to do debug, start debugging. And the first thing I see down here is EAX has got a bunch of garbage in it. And let me do F10. And now we see ECX, oh, I'm sorry, EBX has stored the value 19 hex, or 25 decimal. And let's execute the next one. Now ECX should equal 5, it does. And let's execute the next one. Now EDX should equal 13, and that's 0D hexadecimal, does. And now let's execute the next line. We have added EDX to ECX, so ECX should equal whatever that is. ECX equals 12 hex, which is this. And let's do the next line, which subtracts ECX from EBX. Let's do this. And so we should have 7 now in EBX. And then the last statement should just move EBX into EAX. There we go. And so now EAX contains what EBX contained before. All right, so, and then, so this is where we would stop. And then to submit this, I would do this. I would first copy the screen. I'm going to bring up my my snippet, new, and let me just copy this whole big thing here. Copy this. And I'm going to save this on the desktop. Save as assignment to screenshot.jpg. So now that's stored on my desktop someplace. Where? Right here. And so let me go back here. And then what I want to do is let's bring up Laulima. This is where I'm going to submit my assignment. That would be right here. So right here in this thing, I'm going to copy this whole thing. Copy. Copy. And let me paste. Paste it. I'm just going to paste it, see what happens. Paste. And let me, what happens if I copy? Can I make this into some better kind of formatted? How's that? Ooh, that looks nice. All right, that looks good. So that would be copying my code in, because I want to, it makes it easier for me to grade. And then I want to attach the screenshot, which is this. Okay, so my screenshot is attached. And then I want to take this program. I can close it, save all. Oh, I didn't put my name in here. Let me put my name in here. I should say assignment 2. It's not really because it's a exam. It's a demonstration. But I want to put my name. So let me save all. You should really do this before copy. This should be really. Because I want to see your name there. And then, okay, so when this is done, I want to save all. And I want to close it. And here it is. This is it. So if you look here, I view this. This is my program. This is my program. So let me zip this, send to compressed, and here it is. And so I want to also attach this thing. So it'd be this one, the one I just finished. All right, so this is submitting my assignment, although it's not really my assignment because I did something different. You need to do this one. And I submit. And now it's submitted. And presumably I should be able just to look at this to confirm that you got everything correctly, maybe take a peek at your screenshot. And let's see, am I still, okay, so very good. So I hope that gets you started for assignment 2, and thanks for watching.